Hello once again, it's your girl Mish on the Mish Connection. Welcome once again. I have a very special guest for you. Of course, I always have the best connections. Now, I want to introduce Scott Ehrenberg, otherwise known as DJ Scottro from Kiss FM. How you doing?
I am good. It's great to be on the Mish Connection finally.
Yay.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to have you on because not only do I know you from, of course, one of your main gigs on Saturday at the casino, at the Rivers Casino, actually.
Yes.
At the Drum Bar.
Yes.
We started talking a little bit, and not only do I feel that you have such a great mixture there, not just, new school, but old school too. You want to get into acting and everything. So I know we have a lot to cover, right?
We do.
All right. But first I want to actually start by, let's go take it back, basically. Where are you from?
Go back to little Scottro here.
Right.
I grew up in the North Hills area here in Pittsburgh. And I started out, music has always been a big part of my life. I started out, my parents used to listen to DVE, which is classic rock. Yeah. I'm a closet singer. I'm a shower singer. I love to sing in the shower, which is something that not a lot of people know about me. But I love music of all kinds. Real big into the hip hop, classic rock, alternative. Country is probably my least favorite type of music, but I even love me a little country here and then. So.
Right, really, because it's my first. So no, I do like country though. But
yeah.
as far as you tell me a little bit about like the influences from those different genres that you mentioned.
Well, in high school and middle school, I was in that skater phase that every adolescent white boy goes through, I think. And I loved the bands like, I grew up on the classic rock and then moved to punk rock, NoFX, Limp Bizkit,
nice.
All, mainstream and underground. And from there, going into college, I expanded my horizons into hip hop and R&B and even jazz and blues, Coltrane, stuff, a lot of old stuff that kids at that age weren't really listening to, but I had a lot of friends who shared the same love of music, which was that was probably the biggest influence. Were the people around me that were, we each had our own taste and we were picking and choosing from each other's database of music, so to speak.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blessed that I had a similar background because not only did I listen to radio, I also studied classical and was in musical theater and things like that. And it's always great to have that surrounding that, you're not the only person that's into that.
Right.
So is your friends, your circle of friends. So tell me a little bit about what you got into before you were a DJ, any type of crazy little jobs that you had?
Well, as far as music goes, I bought my first drum set when I was 15.
Wait, you play drums?
I play a lot of instruments, actually. I learned how to play the guitar first, and then I bought a drum set, and a friend of mine basically taught me how to play. I was in my first band at the age of 14, and had stayed with that band for 10 years.
Nice.
Doing shows, opening up for national acts around town, and playing the Hard Rock and playing Mr. Smalls and playing stage AE, and it's that's where my live music credibility comes in. I think I've been on stage before in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, the band was one of the big side issues with music that I've had. So
what was the band called?
Running from Monday was the name of the band, which we are no longer together. But
well, I mean, even within that that band, what were the aspirations that you had even then?
We wanted to tour and kind of do the van, pack up a van full of equipment and tour the East Coast, maybe head out west. But life got in the way. People grew up and started having kids and going off to college, and
Right.
it wasn't one of those instances where we said, screw everything, we're going to make this music happen. People sacrificed the music instead of, you know, which everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. So. Yeah. I mean, people get, you know, once they start getting into different obstacles and everything, it basically shows, you know, what you mean to be doing, whether it's music or whether it's something else. So, you know, you never know. Everything happens, you know, works out for the best.
Yeah.
So now you're, you know, famous disc jockey, you know, so you know, how did you come across, you know, working for Kiss FM and everything?
Okay, so the Kiss FM thing happened by accident. I kind of fell into it. I went to school at Edinburgh for 3 years to be an art teacher. And anybody, teachers, my hat's off to the teachers, because that is a tough profession to be in.
Yes.
And once I got into the educational aspect of my schooling, I realized that I was great at art, but I didn't want to be a teacher. So I transferred to the University of Pittsburgh, hail to Pitt.
Nice.
And I needed an internship my third year in there. I had a media communications focus, and I needed an internship. So I knew some people that knew some people, and I got my resume in front of the promotions coordinator at Clear Channel Media and Entertainment. And I got in the door that way, doing, you know, hanging banners and putting prize bags together, and really had nothing to do with on air. But I met a close friend of mine, one of my best friends, you know DJ Bonix, I'm sure.
Nice, of course.
Wiz Khalifa's tour DJ. And he said, come on in and just check it out, see how it works. And the first time he put me on the mic, I was hooked.
Nice.
You know, crack a mic, you're talking to 20, 30,000 people at one time. It's exhilarating. So and not only was he great at radio, he was also great at DJing, one of the best DJs I've ever heard. And he kind of got me into that whole aspect too. So he really helped me grow professionally in radio and as a DJ.
Good. So. And, you know, even speaking about your position at Kiss FM, and you, of course, speak to 30,000 people or more at a time.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, if you know, your callers. Any crazy stories?
It's interesting because for some reason, if somebody dials, let's say they want to dial DVE and they don't know the number, so they call information for the number. For some strange reason, they give out our number if you call information. So I get drunk callers on the regular calling in for DVE, and they call Kiss. And I had a man and a woman both call in requesting a song one night. They were both hammered drunk, and they started fighting on the phone over what the song was that they wanted to request, because I don't think either one of them really knew what it was. But it ended up being a 30-minute conversation that I cut down to a couple minutes to air on the radio, and it was priceless. Radio gold.
Oh my God.
I love those yinzers.
Yes. So, I mean, is there any part where you just feel that you're not playing as much music as you want to play, or?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, but you know, this is a struggle I've had since I started. Every time I start to think about the type of music and the amount of music that we play, you have to ultimately go back to what the industry is and why it's there. And you know, I wouldn't have a job, and the music wouldn't be played if not for the advertising. And, you know, so everybody hates commercials, but they're a necessary evil. So but I'm kind of at the point now, being in radio for 10 years, I have to know the music. To talk about it on the air, and especially to play it out in the club. So I do pay attention to the music. While I'm in there, though, I'm tuned out. I don't even hear the music in the studio anymore, you know? So it's interesting in that respect.
Well, that's good. I mean, if you had a chance to go back and, like, let's say if you were the boss, of course, you were, of course, the DJ, what type of music would you play right now?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
I would take a portion of the playlist that we have on Kiss right now, because I do think there's a lot of good music, top 40 music out there now, for what it's worth. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that might say,
disagree,
I don't want anything commercial, I don't want anybody on a label, I don't listen to that stuff, but there is some good music out there. And I would play more artists that are local or more underground, you know, talent that don't exactly get the exposure that they deserve.
Yeah. Anyone in particular that you're feeling right now?
Let me think. Anybody in particular here in Pittsburgh, or that is just an artist that
anywhere
deserves more attention?
Exactly. Any artist that you feel that, you know, if I could play this on, you know, on my shift, I would play it, hands down.
That's a good question, because I like all different types of music.
Or name a few.
Okay, we definitely need to be playing more Macklemore.
Nice.
The Thrift Shop is amazing, and he's got some more songs coming through. Yeah, The Heist is amazing. Yeah. There's some more songs coming down the pike from him, which I am very happy about. Let me think here. Who else can I? Because I'm listening to a lot of interesting music. Fun is another band. It's like a band that kind of have dipped into that old school music feel.
Yes, classic music. Yeah,
you know, they remind me of a Queen or a band from the 70s and 80s that have a real unique sound. They're starting to get some more airplay, which is great. I mean, they're having a wonderful year with the Grammys and all the awards.
And they did a wonderful job at the Grammys, too.
Yes, they did. I'm trying to think if there's any super underground people that I'm listening to right now that need a shot on the air. I get a lot of people send me stuff every day.
Really?
You know, we get a lot of artists, demos, CDs, whatever. You know, they'll drive from the far ends of the earth to come and drop a demo off. But and we encourage that type of thing, because we've actually played music before that somebody came and dropped a CD off.
Oh,
every now and again, my boss will he'll be on that randomness and say, let's throw this up and see what, you know, throw it on the air right now and see what people say.
Basically throw it to the wall and see what sticks.
Yes,
basically.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, of course, that's a great message for you guys out there, just in case. Even though I don't want to necessarily flood your gates with all that, but
we listen to as much as we can. Honestly, you can't hear every demo that comes across the mail room, but we listen to as much as we can, just in case we're, you know, missing something big. You know?
Oh, good. Well, we have more with DJ Scottro once again. We have much more to cover, so come back to the Mish Connection. We'll be right back.